After the success of the perfect Pokemon and Pokeball pairings video, there was a lot, and I mean a lot, of people asking for the shiny version. It's safe to say that people take their Pokeballs a lot more seriously when it comes to shiny Pokemon. What's the point of having a shiny Pokemon if it's in a ball that just doesn't match? Even if you catch all your shinies in Luxury Balls, Premier Balls, or Quick Balls, the matter of fact is, some Pokemon look better in some Pokeballs than in others. So just like last time, I'll be telling y'all my opinions on what particular shiny Pokemon pair perfectly per particular Pokeball. Before we jump in, be sure to drop a like down below and subscribe for more Pokemon content. My dog and I would both appreciate it. So just like last time, we'll be going over 30 different Pokeballs. These include the 27 on screen, which are all types available in the main series games, as well as the Jet Ball and Gigaton Ball from Legends Arceus, and the Strange Ball, which is its own sort of enigma. In the original video, my reasonings were primarily based on color, with some influence based on the Pokeball's intended purpose. In this video, it's pretty much all aesthetic. Not that this should be a surprise. I mean, shiny Pokemon only differ in aesthetics, so it only makes sense. Also, I tried to stray away from picking Pokemon whose shinies are similar to their original design. Lastly, before we get into the list, huge shout out to my friend Chip for helping me with not only this video, but the last one as well. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's start at the very top, with the Pokeball. With the obvious pairing of Voltorb out of the way, it actually took quite a bit to find a great match for the Pokeball. However, one Pokemon jumped out as not only having a great visual pairing, but a great narrative one as well. Here we have Gyarados. It's easy to see why Gyarados works well in terms of colors, but veterans of the franchise will realize that shiny Gyarados is iconic for being the very first and one of the only intentional shiny Pokemon in the franchise. As almost everyone's first shiny Pokemon, Gyarados' match with the Pokeball seems almost too perfect in a way, huh? One step up, we have the Great Ball. So, remember that Voltorb comment from earlier? Well, here it is. I completely missed Voltorb when making the initial list, and I was pretty embarrassed when I realized that the Pokeball Pokemon simply turns into the Great Ball Pokemon once it's a shiny. That being said, I actually think there's a Pokemon better for the Great Ball, being Gallade. Not only does it sport all three colors on the Great Ball, it also has them balanced quite well, even down to Gallade's red chest piece matching the accents on the Great Ball. I may also be a bit biased here, as Gallade was my first shiny in Scarlet and Violet, but you can't deny how perfect these two go together. Moving along, we have the Ultra Ball. First and foremost, question for you. Is the Ultra Ball black with yellow features or yellow with black features? Good luck figuring that one out. Anyways, the black and yellow color scheme is present in a wide variety of shiny Pokemon. There are plenty of great pairings, like Arcanine and Luxray just to name a few. However, one Pokemon sports this color combo so well that it's hard to not give it the top spot. Naganadel. Naganadel? I don't know. Another hard call between yellow with black versus black with yellow. It straight up reminds me of Bumblebee from Transformers, which is probably the only Transformers reference you'll ever hear me make. Also, in case you weren't convinced already, Ultra Beast, Ultra Ball. I mean, come on. Next is the pinnacle of Pokeballs, the Master Ball. Like I mentioned in the last video, Kyogre's meme status of matching Pokeballs goes beyond its comparison to the Great Ball, as its shiny form matches the Master Ball pretty damn well. And while there is a wide variety of Pokemon that rock the Master Ball's colors, it's kind of hard to beat the pairing that's a literal meme. Well done, Kyogre. Well done. Hiding in plain sight, we have the Safari Ball. Going completely against the way shiny Pokemon stand out, the Safari Ball is all about camo colors. At first, Spinda seemed like a great pairing. While not a perfect match color-wise, its randomized spots had a nice theming with the Safari Ball. However, upon further consideration, I think the best pairing with the Safari Ball is Torterra. If you want to talk about a Pokemon being good at camouflage, look no further than the Pokemon that lays down and basically becomes a part of the landscape. While not a perfect color match, it's hard to deny that these two work well together. Keeping up the pace, we have the Fastball. I'll keep this one quick, since there's not really a lot to compare well with it. Out of the whole decks, I believe Helioptile and Heliolisk are two of the best choices. They aren't anything great, but as red electric types with a splash of yellow, it's probably the best we're gonna do. Kind of a bummer, but also, who the hell cares about the Fastball anyways? Next up is the Levelball. While ironically matching the Heliolisk line even better than the Fastball, there's one Pokemon that immediately jumped out to me for this, being Aegislash. One side-by-side comparison of these two makes it pretty obvious why they pair well. Between the colors, the precise line work between the two, and even the V shape on the end of the blade matching the V on the ball, Aegislash and the Levelball go too well together to ignore. Another pretty forgettable Pokeball, we have the Lureball. This is one of the ones I'm most torn on. As a ball intended for water Pokemon, I want to give the spot to a Pokemon like Golisopod or Clawitzer. However, I'm erring on the side of aesthetic over function, so my choice for the Lureball is Obstagoon. I almost put Ralts here instead, due to its horn mirroring the pattern on the Lureball decently well. However, with Gallade already winning the Great Ball, I felt it'd be good to give the win to another Pokemon. Plus, truth be told, Chip really wanted this guy to win, and I think he earned it. Next up is the Heavy Ball. Not the one from Legends Arceus, just to be clear. This is one of the few instances of a Pokemon being good for a ball both normally and shiny. Carbink. The darker colors that come with Carbink's shiny make it really stand out, and the gems scattered around it match well with the bumps on the Heavy Ball. A really good example of a shiny with a subtle but impressive change. The next Pokeball on the list is the Love Ball. And this is a good time to address something important about the roster of shiny Pokemon. A ridiculous amount of them are pink. So with that said, the 3 pink Pokeballs have so many great options that at some point, you just have to pick one, you know? My pick for the Love Ball is Delibird. With the pink part being obvious, my main reason for choosing Delibird is creative. Delibird gives presents. Gift giving is a love language. So, Love Ball, Delibird, why not? A great honorable mention would be Heracross, but only female, because the tip of their horns are in the shape of a heart. There's a fun fact for you. Now we have the Friend Ball. The Friend Ball has always been one of the more unique color combinations for a Pokeball, and one Pokemon that I think hits the mark in a similar way is Scrafty. Admittedly, the Friend Ball has red accents, not orange, but they still work together quite nicely. Now some of you might be thinking, isn't Scrafty the Hoodlum Pokemon? Seems kind of weird to have it in the Friend Ball, don't you think? Well, Scrafty has multiple dex entries stating how in spite of its rudeness, it takes very good care of its turf, family, and friends. I rest my case. Next is one of my favorite pairings on the list, the Moonball. Not only do I think the pairing is perfect, but the Pokemon itself is such a popular one, and its shiny is incredible. Gliscor. Do I need to go in depth on this one? The colors speak for themselves, and you get Gliscor by evolving Gligar at night. It's too perfect not to choose. That being said, there are 2 other amazing shinies that weren't mentioned here, being Giratina and Umbreon. Going from one of my favorite pairings to one of my least favorites, we have the Sport Ball. I've talked before about how I hate the Sport Ball from a design perspective, so I'll just pair it with Zen Mode Galarian Darmanitan. Is it a great pairing? Not really. Will anyone care about the Sport Ball though? Unlikely. Next up is the Netball. In the original video, the Netball was a pretty difficult one to decide on. We had a lot of options, but nothing seemed like the perfect fit. Well, this time, it's the opposite. We only felt like one Pokemon fit it well, but it was a pretty perfect match. Here we have Tapu Fini. Between being a water type, having only black, blue, and white in its design, and having a pattern on its shell to mirror the bands on the Netball, Tapu Fini fits perfectly here. Also, quick shout out to all the Tapu shinies, 10 out of 10 for all of them. Continuing with the water theme, we have the Dive Ball. This is another one of those Pokeballs that has a lot of great choices, so don't be surprised if I missed a Pokemon you were thinking of. That being said, the first one that stood out to me is Chi-Yu. Besides being a really nice shiny, there's some fun irony in Chi-Yu being a blue fish, yet being a fire type. That being said, I think the better choice is Corsola. It's that pristine blue color you see on the Dive Ball with a white underside that somewhat mimics Azumarill. But most importantly, Corsola never wins anything, so I'm just letting it get a win, for once in its life. Next is the Nest Ball, which also has a wide variety of good choices due to the insane amount of green shiny Pokemon. That being said, of all the options, the one that jumps out most to me is Lurantis. It has a really incredible design, perfect colors, and I think we can all agree that we associate the Nest Ball with grass and bug Pokemon, even if that's not its intended use. Quick honorable mention though to Flapple. It's cute and matches the colors well, but doesn't differ enough from regular Flapple to take the win over Lurantis. So next we have the Repeat Ball. Last time we paired Phalanx with the Repeat Ball, which is probably one of the best pairings possible in the game. Doing a complete 180, I was nervous for this video that nothing was going to match the Repeat Ball, mostly given how specific its design is. But luckily, one often forgotten about Pokemon saved the day. Graplocked. It may not be 100%, but it's the best thing we have for the Repeat Ball, and I say we take it. So, quick fourth wall break, the next couple are Timer, Luxury, and Premier. These are some of the most liked balls for shiny Pokemon, and I feel the pressure from the comments even while I'm recording this, way ahead of time. So, be nice to me, thanks. Anyways, next is the Timer Ball. While you may think we had a lot of good options for this one, many of the Pokemon that seemed good for Timer Ball actually worked better for the Premier Ball, so our list got narrowed down pretty easily. And of that list, Trevenant came out on top. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot, but again, great color scheme and design, with the balance of the 3 colors matching that of the timer ball. I don't have much else to say. Next. Now here's the most popular choice for shinies, the luxury ball. Now if there's one shiny variant people seem to love more than any other, it's black. Charizard, Haxorus, Furfrou. Any big Furfrou fans out there? No? Just me? Okay. Point is, you're spoiled for choice here. So considering the gold and red details on the luxury ball, to me, the choice is obviously Rayquaza. If you want to argue something else is better, that's fine, but Rayquaza and the luxury ball are quite literally perfect. Last in the most popular gauntlet, we have the Premier Ball. With the only prereqs being red and white for this one, the list grew fast. Of all our choices, I put Absol as an honorable mention. Truth be told, it's one of my favorites, and I wanted to mention it, so there. But to keep my bias in check, I decided Victini is the top pick. Outside of the colors, Victini being a mythical is probably the best way to match the premier part of the ball, so it's an easy victory for the rabbit? Is that what it is? Cat? Delving into the darkness, we have the Duskball. While it would be nice to get a dark type here, it's hard to deny that Dreadnought is a perfect fit for the Duskball. One of the hardest parts about matching this particular Pokeball is the combination of black, green, and orange, which is pretty uncommon, especially in shinies. Thankfully, we're lucky enough to have the signature ball of Floaroma Town, we have the Heelball. Like I said previously, pink Pokeballs have a plethora of potential partners to pair with. After a lot of deliberation, I decided to give it to Goodra. The pink and tan on Goodra are such soft colors that the Heelball felt like a no-brainer to me. Plus, the button on the ball is purple, which Goodra also has on it. Plus, I feel like a hug from anything in the Goodra line would be really healing, you know? I mean, at least if it doesn't kill me. Transitionary sentence, Quick Ball. Look, this is a lot of transitions, I'm trying. I know some people out there say you should never use a Quick Ball on shinies, but if it matches, it's fine, right? At first, Pokemon like Metagross and Drifblim came to mind because of the matching X's on their design, but after more consideration, 2 Pokemon took their spots, and now I can't decide which one is best. My 2 picks are Deoxys and Dragapult. I could try to make an argument for which is better, but honestly, I think they both deserve the spot. Next is the Cherish Ball. Honestly, on any given day, my favorite of the bunch would probably change. But with such a special and unique Pokeball, I feel that the Gen 7 box art legends, Solgaleo and Lunala, deserve this spot. I don't anticipate anybody disagreeing with me either. These 2 behemoths definitely earned it. In the last video, I forgot to mention the Park Ball, which was fine because it was Dunsparce. However, this time, there's actually quite a number of good options to match it. And hot off its win in the first video is my pick, Dondozo. I've said this before, but with most of the Pokeballs having the bottom half completely white, it really helps when a shiny is able to strike this balance, as it really makes a difference for a Pokemon matching the Pokeball. Straight out of the Barbie movie, we have the Dream Ball. Last time, Musharna got the win, as it's the most synonymous with the Dream Ball of any Pokemon. That being said, the Pokemon that best matches the Dream part next is actually our winner, being Drowsy. And Hypno. They both work, so take your pick. I prefer Hypno for this, as it's literally trying to put me to sleep whenever it's on the field. But yeah, don't fall asleep around Hypno. Trust me. If you know, you know. Beast Ball. Yeah, I'm losing my mind at this point. As a Pokeball made to capture otherworldly creatures, you would guess that the Pokemon that pairs with it would be something godly, right? Well, you'd be correct. Here we have Shuckle. In all seriousness, while an actual Ultra Beast like Xurkitree would have worked really well here, Shuckle has the details down to a T. I love how the yellow pieces wrapping around the Beast Ball just look like Shuckle wrapping its arms around it instead. The godly Shuckle is truly a beast fitting of the ball. Here we have the Strange Ball. Only having one distinct color opens the door for a lot, and I mean a lot, of shinies that have the teal color scheme. That being said, I think the best pick for the Strange Ball is Latios. Only having teal and white in its design helps it to match the Strange Ball better than Pokemon like Totodile or Turtwig that have a variety of other colors mixed in. Plus, I would say some of the strangest and most unique Pokemon are legendaries. Switching over to Legends Arceus, we have the Jet Ball. With such an intricate and detailed wing pattern on the ball, the pool for potential candidates has narrowed down quite a bit. Last video, I chose Articuno. And you know what? I like Articuno so much with the Jet Ball that I want to choose it again. Only not regular Articuno. Galarian Articuno. Because guess what? The Galarian birds all have shinies that match their originals. So who better to pair with the Jet Ball than a slightly different looking Articuno? Time for the Gigaton Ball. Being one of the few all-black Pokeballs, there's plenty of great choices. That being said, there's only two I really want to mention. First of which is the Hisuian Voltorb line. Having the black half as opposed to the blue on the original versions is a very nice change, but my top pick ended up being Minior. I bet some of y'all forgot about this mon, huh? While its Meteor form is nothing noteworthy, its core form looks super good. Not only is it a black ball, which is pretty much a perfect match already, its markings are a nice detail to mirror all the markings strewn about the Gigaton Ball. Such a cool shiny, it's a shame that it's one of those Pokemon that's probably going to get lost to time. And we're done. Hello? Uh-huh. What? The GS Ball? Do people actually care about that? Okay, gotcha. So, the GS Ball. As a Pokeball specific to Gold and Silver, it's only natural that the pairing comes from that generation, right? And what better to pair with it than the Golden Firebird itself? Oh. A perfect pairing and a perfect finish to the list. I know people are passionate about their shiny Pokemon, so let me know your favorite pairings down in the comments. This is a fun topic to look into, and I'm very down to go down more rabbit holes like this if that's what y'all want. But until next time, thanks for watching, subscribe if you enjoyed, and as always, as thanks for making it to the end of the video, here's a picture of my dog. Talk to y'all soon.